covering Northern California. You're watching Action News Now, coverage you can count on.
What's inside Shasta Dam? We give you a look and share some of the history of the dam, celebrating 80 years. Plus, how bridge construction is disrupting the lives of those who live nearby. But first, why the fate of a local public radio station is now in question. Cap Radio, which oversees radio stations like North State Public Radio in Chico and KHSU in Humboldt County, may not run those stations for much longer after a decision made in a recent budget meeting. Action News Now reporter Margot Rowe is live in front of KCHO Radio in Chico. So, Margot, what could happen to these stations if Cap Radio decides not to manage them?
Alan, I spoke with a representative at Cap Radio, and they told me that they have been in talks with Cal Poly Humboldt and Chico State, and essentially to pass the baton back to them. Now, while the decision isn't final, Chico State gave a statement saying the CSU is thrilled with the idea that an NSPR could come back to the university and believes it's the best path forward to keep the station going. Now, I spoke with Action News Now assignment editor Lorraine Decter, who worked under North State Public Radio's KFPR in Reading for more than 35 years. And she believes it's the best move, as the station at Chico State has proven to be vital in times of emergency.
That's just so important that that information is available and being given in times of emergency. And that's my biggest fear. If something happened to North State Public Radio, is that we wouldn't have that vital public information that is so critically necessary in rural areas. And it's not easy to do. It has costs. But if we don't provide those services in our region, then it's to the detriment of our communities.
Now, according to an NSPR publication on this topic, the handover is due to financial reasons. And I reached out to Cap Radio to confirm that and was told more details would come after the Cap Radio's budget vote. And that vote won't happen until next week on July 2nd. Reporting live in Chico, I'm Margot Rowe for Action News Now.
Thank you, Margot. We did reach out to North State Public Radio about the statement, but the agency couldn't comment on the matter. New at 6, Butte County prosecutors are seeking a charge of reckless arson for a man they say caused a fire that burned nearly 5 acres north of Chico. District Attorney Mike Ramsey says Omar Luna Rocha was reckless when he set fire to a burn pile along Cana Highway on June 15th, a warm day with gusty winds. Ramsey says Rocha had been drinking and lost control of the fire when he went inside to make something to eat. Rocha has a previous felony conviction of recklessly starting a vegetation fire after drinking last year in Oroville. We are following breaking news of the spring fire in Siskiyou County. This is a live look at the fire from the Alert California camera up there. The fire's near Big Springs Road and McDonald Lane. CAL FIRE says that this fire is currently estimated to be about 5 acres in size, spreading rapidly through sagebrush and juniper, but no evacuations or road closures are in place right now. So let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Howie Gordon on the fire conditions as we head into this Friday evening. Howie.
Yeah, they were a lot worse over the last weekend, Alan, as we were looking at red flag warnings. Those were lifted days ago. We've had some periodic breezy conditions, but really nothing consistent. So intermittent breezes, that's not going to hurt us as much as what we saw a couple days ago. But, okay, we are heating up, continuing to dry out our vegetation. Well, let's go to the humidity. As we get drier, I'll show you the slide. These are the winds first. Winds on the lighter and the safer side, but I would talk about as we're heating up. I don't like 15% or lower. That's very dangerous, and you're looking at a few of these spots, and nighttime recovery is usually a good one at 50%. We're not getting there either, so those variables aren't that good. But again, the winds I showed you a moment ago, they are down. Here's what we have for tomorrow. Okay, I don't like those moisture levels. They're a little higher, though. But here's what we have. Wind-wise, still on the lower side, but look at these temperatures. So scorchers, but for fire risk potential, still, we're going to stay on the moderate side, nowhere near as bad as what we had last weekend, but we're going to continue to heat up, and we're going to talk more about that in a few minutes, Alan.
Thanks, Howie. A newly installed camera facing at the Shasta Dam was launched by the Bureau of Reclamation today. Action News Now reporter Blake Mayfield tells us it's to commemorate the dam's 80th anniversary.
After the keys to Shasta Dam were handed over to the Bureau of Reclamation on June 20th, 1945, the BOR is celebrating the dam's 80th birthday with a new 720p standard definition camera that's now facing the dam for all to see.
The new Shasta Dam cam offers picturesque views of not only the dam, but also the lake and the mountain, better known as the Three Shastas.
To ring in the occasion, the Bureau of Reclamation offered Action News Now a tour and history lesson of one of America's biggest dams.
Men were kept here. They were exempt from the draft. This was where they needed to be. This was the most important thing happening at the time.
By accessing a link via the Northern California Area Office homepage, you could check in on lake levels at California's biggest reservoir any day throughout the year.
As of today, we're about 85% of capacity, and we're about 25 feet from the top.
Reporting at the Shasta Dam, I'm Blake Mayfield, Action News Now.
If you'd like to see that view for yourself, we have a link for you on our website. Just look for this story on our website. Corning police say 2 teen suspects are on the run after they say they shot a man in the back. Police are looking for 17-year-old Clint Mooney of Orland and 17-year-old Keanu Nahinu of Wairika. Officers say the pair forced themselves into a home along Prune Street early Tuesday morning when they shot at 2 victims. If you see them, don't make contact. Police say they could be armed and dangerous. Police say both suspects are known gang members. If you have any information regarding the suspects or where they may be, call the Corning Police Department. Some people in Gridley are not happy with how the school district went about ending the high school tennis program. A city council member even believes the state laws might have been broken. Action News Now reporter Nathan Espindula was in Gridley today and shows us why people are upset.
It's been kind of a mystery about how to approach this, how to get the transparency that we would really like to have. How to encourage them to honor the Brown Act and really be forthcoming about the reasons, because the reasons they're giving us don't hold water.
Cindy Scott believes the school district violated the Brown Act during their dismantling of the high school tennis team. The Brown Act is a California law that keeps government meetings open to the public, requires the agenda to be posted in advance, among other things. And Cindy, among others, believes the agenda item and discussion weren't adequate. Gridley City Council member Catalina Sanchez even told me that the agenda item didn't even include the word tennis in it, something she believes is wrong.
That the community feels that the way the conversations have happened, either in public comment, when they should have happened in the agendized item, and even what transpired within that agendized item, just has not been, I believe, in an organized manner that is required by the Brown Act.
And I reached out to the Gridley Unified School District president, who told me that people criticizing the move don't understand what they're talking about and refuse to comment further. The Gridley High School tennis program was around for over 70 years, and Cindy Scott still has hope that the school board will listen to her pleas.
After 75 years, give us our own time in a school board meeting to talk about solutions to the problems that the district has with the sport.
Scott also believes that losing the tennis program will be detrimental for the school.
Help us provide this program to these students. Don't disenfranchise their opportunity to play a sport. And sports are so important to school. They'll do better academically. It prepares them for the future. Sports do that, and tennis can be part of that picture.
In Gridley, I'm Nathan Espindula, Action News Now.
Now, earlier this month, Action News Now reported on the ending of the tennis program in the Gridley Unified School District. And at that time, the athletic director told us that tennis had the lowest participation out of all the sports in the school, and that repairing the tennis courts would cost at least $50,000. Action News Now reached out to the Unified School District Superintendent's office today to find out if the decision to end the program would be reversed. They did not want to comment, saying that the superintendent is out of town. President Donald Trump's Big Beautiful Bill appears to be back on track after several last-minute revisions in the Senate. Republicans are relying on steep cuts to health care, food stamps, and green energy investments to help pay for $3.8 trillion in tax breaks. While the president is pushing for the bill to be signed by the 4th of July, Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom says the bill could be damaging.
It's important. It's not the end all. It can go longer, but we'd like to get it done by that time, if possible. And look, we have a lot of very committed people, and they feel very strongly about a subjects that you're not even thinking about, that are important to Republicans.
For Donald Trump to anyway say it's not going to impact or hurt anyone like he did today when he lied about that today, what a shame, what a disgrace that someone could actually assert that, let alone perhaps even believe it.
With 53-seat majority, the Senate GOP leaders can only afford to lose just 3 Republicans on voting for this bill, since all Democrats are expected to oppose it. Still ahead, new bridge construction is frustrating a Chico family. We'll tell you what the city is doing about it. And nearly a dozen have been arrested on charges of burglarizing a home repeatedly.